Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Today's adventure brings me to Anaheim, California. That is the convention center right back there. This particular section is blocked off, which is the parking area, at least one of them, Toy Story parking, for Disneyland. Now, I'm not going to do a precise every nook and cranny around the perimeter of the property, but just out for a ride on my bike. Day 3, going out and getting some fresh air, soaking in the ambiance, the sights, the sounds, and the sun of Southern California. It's supposed to get to 95, 96 degrees today. It's going to be a warm one. I'm inviting you to join me as I just cruise around and see what can be seen. Shall you? I have also found a new adapter to hold the GoPro in, so might be a little better. It's still a test in progress, but sound might be a little better than the previous few episodes. The Anaheim Resort. This is the layout of the land, if you will. Currently, I am standing right there. The parking lot is that section just above Orangewood Avenue, and if I cruise up a bit more, you have Disney Way, Katella, Disneyland Drive over there, and Disneyland right there in the center of the screen. So I'll be going north from where I'm at. Not too far, about 3/4 of a mile maybe. The signage states that the parks are closed indefinitely till further notice. It's so unusual seeing all this blocked off. They were cones. Morning. Wow, this is a sight rarely seen. Empty. Over the years, I have visited this particular building more than on a couple dozen occasions, and never in all my years, for obvious reasons, have I seen this courtyard barren in this nature. It is accessible. I see one or two other people walking, getting their steps in, but it is a different feeling, to say the least. The next event I was looking forward to and have tickets to, Star Wars Celebration at the end of summer. Crossing my fingers that still takes place. D23, VidCon, WonderCon, all of those conventions take place right inside these doors. Usually lots of cosplay out here in this pathway. You hear that? Not only are there birds chirping, but there's an owl. You can hear an owl. Nothing but nature sounds and that man-made water fountain back there. And another fountain over here. I'm noticing this with a lot of places. They have sections where you can't drive a vehicle up onto the premises, but you can walk through or ride a bicycle. You can trek around. You just can't take a car up onto. See those little stanchions over there, those metal pylons. Just walk through. I maybe saw half a dozen folk from a far distance on this entire section of land. From this angle, you can see the former Tower of Terror Guardians of the Galaxy on the right, and not the backside of water, but the backside of Radiator Springs Racers, and the Alpine Inn, a little motel, one of the many accommodations around here that are not currently accepting guests. This is Katella, coming up to Harbor now, the cross streets of Katella and Harbor. The CVS Pharmacy is open for business. Sounds of the leaves crunching under the tires. Where the buses that venture from the Toy Story lot, that bus is a normal city bus. But the Disney buses have halted operation. They would pull right over into that section and dropping you off at the park. I am certainly not only looking forward to the reopening of the Disney properties, but also Jim Boy's Tacos. Love that place. What you're looking at on the other side of the road in those hedges is the rideshare drop-off point, and you can see there goes no monorail on that beam. Denny's is available for takeout, however, which means you could order and pay there and then find a curb down there to sit on and enjoy your meal while looking at Disneyland, if you so choose. It's about as close as you're gonna get. Wow, even Mickey D's next to the Camelot Hotel, Camelot Inn and Suites. I thought for sure this would be available for drive-thru, but it's reopening soon, according to that banner. Freeway traffic not too terribly bad at the moment. Now, it might not seem like much for a seasoned professional when it comes to going out on a bike, but combining the last 2 days of me doing this, a little soreness in the bones going up that incline, doesn't look like much, but got a little bit of a leg workout. It is pretty neat that this structure is still sitting here outside the Cass parking garage. Well, for Team Disney parking garage. There is still some traffic flowing through the interchange here, leading to the parking structure, but considerably less. This is usually backed up around. Going here, if the light is stopped, cars will go from there all the way up around that bend on a normal day at any given time. The spires at Galaxy's Edge, which can be seen prominently normally when you're going into park. Look at that. Wait, I hear a car. A couple cars. A little activity, but not much. Bypassing the structure. When I don't get dropped off out front, which is my normal method, I will try to park on that upper level to get a overview, a lookout in Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars land. when it all reopens, this is going to be very interesting to look back upon when the Tiki Room is accessible once again. And these flowers made me think of the Tiki Room. Right? How can you not? After you exit your vehicle and make your way down the escalator, you get on a tram below that particular point, and the tram, that's the pathway right there. It goes directly under where I'm standing. Just waiting for the light to change. It's taking a while. I pressed the button, but I really don't want to touch it. I'm sure it's been stated and thought by more than just myself. Well, I don't know how many people have been down here. Quite a few have been down to survey the area. You know, local residents and those who are just curious to see what the area is like. And to use the phrase that it is like being in a Twilight Zone episode, kind of is. It's different. This is the first time I've been to this area since, gosh, it's been a couple months before I went to Florida and closed those parks out on their final days at Walt Disney World. I was not here for the last day before everything started to take place. So I haven't seen any of this with my own eyes in a couple months. And so this is the first time back. Not how I really want to see it, but it is very interesting. Very interesting. Side note, none of those lights have stopped beeping. They've been going for about 10 minutes. Every intersection, all those lights through here, they're all making that beeping noise. And normally right through this section, you can hear Splash Mountain music permeating the atmosphere. There goes no monorail. Now, while there are plenty of open areas that I could ride through that are not closed off, you know, sidewalks, etc., I am not going to go onto these properties of the hotels. I'm just going to keep my distance and look from afar from the sidewalks, the normal city sidewalks. A lot of rumors, speculation, opinions, thought processes when the parks as well as these hotels, will they open at the same time? Or will they open separately? Nothing has been announced. I am certainly ready for some Incredicoaster. When that once again rears its head, I'll be there. In one positive aspect, this is a good way to see parts of the premises that you don't normally see, like part of one of the largest hidden Mickeys out here. This is one of Mickey's ears. The other one's over there, under the backdrop of DCA. You have to see it from an aerial view to really understand what I'm saying. Beautiful through here. Look at these trees, incredible. Oh, no pun intended, because the credit coaster is off to the left. Even back when it was California Screamin', they had the scream tubes, which are still there to this day, just to keep all the bellows as you're dropping, the noises from kind of wafting over into the local neighborhoods. Lots of construction taking place at some of the neighboring businesses and future hotels. Everything's still moving forward, as it should be. A pretty good photo op spot, still on the regular sidewalk. And this sign, rarely used anymore, a former entrance that the signage is still up. But guests don't go through here, even when it's open. It is very uncommon and not something I really enjoy doing. I always try to show a monorail on a beam if the beam is in frame. However, there is no possibility of that. Current day, this is the harbor entrance. You see the gate is closed. I'm also noticing that Walt's Star right down here on the little walk, their own version of the Walk of Fame, is covered up, kind of covered up in some fashion. It's another good angle of Guardians. You can kind of see the front facing part there to the far right that looks in from the park. You can see from the park. So many great hotels here just in this neighborhood. Even though I live only a few miles away, I always want to stay at them just to kind of get the experience because they are so close. You don't always have to stay on property. There's a lot of spots you could stay at just within a short walk of the parks, like this one, this castle. Or the Candy Cane Inn, which virtually pretty much butts up right to the back side of Radiator Springs. So close. You might be asking yourself, Adam, well, you'd be asking me this hypothetically, Adam, on that said day when these parks reopen to the general public, to the ticket holders or to annual pass holders, will you be there at that moment? Let me preface this by saying, if I am up to the adequate, appropriated health, knock on imaginary wood, everything continues as planned, I will be there. Oh yes! Whether it be a week or two, which not holding any sort of breath on that one, but if it is, yes, definitely yes. Whether it's a month, whether, I hope not, a year, I'll be there with bells on. I'm not really gonna bring any bells. So speaking of bells, ring that notification bell, and if you're new here, please subscribe by doing so. It helps keep you in the loop. That's going to do it for today. If you enjoyed this particular episode, give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know you care. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.